Assalamu alaikum friends, welcome to the success story on iEdu.pk. Today we are at the office of a personality who has spent 14 years of his life in the education industry. He has worked in companies like University of Central Punjab, rozee.pk and of course Beacon House National University. He is an inspiration for students, the higher education strategist, equal employment opportunity advocate, Mr. Zaeem Yaqoob Khan. Welcome to the show, sir, and thank you so much for having us here.
You're welcome. Thank you so much for giving me the opportunity.
A very first question, because it's a success story, so we'll be asking you to please share your journey with us of last 14 years.
I think it's pretty much what you have said in my introduction. That was a very huge introduction. I don't think so I deserve to be called all of that you said, but yes, I've been able to contribute in the past 14 years in my humble capacity to the education, equal opportunity landscape in Pakistan, in whatever way. I started off in the year 2000 as an adjunct member of faculty at what used to be then Punjab Institute of Computer Sciences. For the initial 3 years, I kept on taking the courses. I think initially for the first year rather, I took very basic fundamental courses in IT. But then I realized that there is something which is more that an IT student needs. And where they lacked is critical reasoning and critical thinking. So I introduced the course of Introduction to Logic. But 2003 I went to America for about a year. And I took off from work and I wanted to see exactly how I fit into the land of opportunities. I was very successful in getting good job offers, but due to some family situations and circumstances, I had to come back. So I came back in 2004. That was the time when the IT enrollment was actually going down, owing to a general crisis in the industry where there were lesser job opportunities in the IT sector. And my students and the graduates who were coming out of the IT disciplines, they were going through a lot of problems. On account of some of my sociability skills, generally interacting with people, I realized that perhaps it's a good opportunity where I can help my students. So that's how I got introduced to the corporate sector and got involved, started engaging myself. So in 2008, I was presented with this great opportunity by Monis Rahman. Again, he's one of my mentors as well. And in 2008, we sat together over a lunch meeting, and very informally he gave me this whole idea that this is what rozee.pk wants to embark upon. I traveled to almost all across Pakistan, starting from Gilgit, Karachi International University to Karachi University, you see. So across Pakistan, I interacted with about 120 universities, and we were successful in bringing 87 of them on board. And we customized these portals for each university, and we gave these portals, we provided all the training for the career development staff. We also reached out to the students. We told them exactly what's the value in that. We started using social media to help promote these. And then I went back to University of Central Punjab for some time. So I went there for technically about 9 months, because things were a little out of place. They needed to be re-energized, put together, because University of Central Punjab again took a different shape. I always considered University of Central Punjab as my second home, and I felt that there was a need that we should just get all of these things together in order to give it the momentum that it requires. And then since I had given a lot of time to UCP, I thought that it's important that I should give time to other institutions also. So Mr. Sadaj Aziz is the Vice Chancellor of Beacon House National University. I was approached by him through another contact, and I came up and I sat with him. Initially I realized that I thought, because we always have assumptions in student lives that Beacon House National University is, again, there are few stereotypes with this institution, but again, it's like it is a for-profit institution, and it has all sorts of it's just a party school and all. But when I came here and I sat with Sadat Saab and I started discussing lots of things, I realized that all my assumptions are totally wrong. It's the same assumption that every person does or may have about me. Finally, I landed at Beacon House National University. We've achieved a lot. It's been a year that I'm part of BNU, and I'm very, very successful and very proud of what BNU has achieved in the past 1 year and in the years before I joined BNU.
That's great. So you've mostly promoted entrepreneurship over employment. What's the reason behind?
Privileged people need to think out of the box rather, and why they need to do that is because that they have a responsibility. And whatever that you enjoy, you have to do it in a very responsible way. So, especially when you talk about people from the affluent classes coming to higher education institutions, when you talk about creating change in the society, you see one of the reports back in 2010 by British Council, Pakistan, the Next Generation, it cites that Pakistan would be needing 36 million jobs by the year 2020. Who is going to create these jobs? If that's the requirement. So I think people who are from the affluent classes, who can take risks, who basically do not have a very, very pressing monetary requirement right away, they can perhaps try their luck and their effort. I mean, more effort, less luck in something like entrepreneurship.
So like you said, you introduced a course on managing diversity. What are your views on diversity in Pakistan?
We think that we are a homogeneous society. Everybody is the same, you see. But that's not true. Homogeneity is not something which is, in a group of people, you can never say that they're all the same. No two people are the same. No two brothers and sisters are the same. So that presents us with a very interesting dimension to explore, that is, what is diversity. The first and the most evident diversity that we see around us is gender diversity. The percentage of males and females in our society. And a most interesting figure is to actually just see how many female graduates coming out of brilliant institutions, they never make it to an impactful job. And it aches my heart at a number of occasions when I see that there are very, very talented people, very, very talented persons, girls, women, who are interested in taking jobs, who want to be as industrious as their male counterparts are, but they cannot do that. This is very unfortunate because our industrial ecosystems, the environments, they don't have acceptability, they are not sensitive to the female gender, and they do not have a proper policy procedure to deal with all these issues that a specific gender has, you see. So it's high time, and I consider this high time that Pakistan should understand that. And there is a lot of ethnic diversity, there is linguistic diversity in our country. There's also many languages that are spoken. There are many languages which are going extinct because we have a stereotypical attitude about one language. For instance, it can be a regional language like Punjabi or Pashto, or it can be our national language Urdu or our official language English. But every language is important. No language should just face the horror of extinction, because language adds a lot of culture, it adds a lot of civilization to society, you see.
You talk a lot about diversity and equal employment opportunity. Don't you think it's too early for a country like Pakistan, where there is no employment? Student who's getting into universities is unemployed, sitting home, and we're talking about equal employment opportunity. Do you think it's too early for that?
No, I don't think so. I think it is the time. It should have been there 20 years back, as a matter of fact. You see, we are late on this actually. It's not early, because equal opportunity is something that I think even there was a quota system all the way through. All the federal universities and schools and institutions, whatever you may call it, they always have a a quota system, this percentage from Punjab, this percentage. But somehow in between we just lost track of that. And you need to understand that equal opportunity does not necessarily mean that you basically have to give these many seats to a specific gender or a specific ethnicity or a specific language group or a specific province. No. Equal opportunity means that somebody will not be denied access to that opportunity on the basis of ethnicity, language, gender and all that. So equal opportunity is actually following merit and not denying opportunity to any person on the basis of something which nature determined for you. You did not determine your gender. You did not determine which house you were born into, which geographic area of the world you will be born into.
So why do you think co-curricular activities and volunteering in public service is important for students of today?
It's absolutely important because you see, एक ज़माने में करिकुलर को एक्स्ट्रा करिकुलर एक्टिविटी समझा जाता है. एक्स्ट्रा करिकुलर का मतलब है कि जो करिकुलर पढ़ाया जा रहा है उससे इसका कोई ताल्लुक नहीं. Now they have actually, the connotation is co-curricular. That means कि जो curriculum पढ़ाया जा रहा है ये उसके साथ aligned होती है. They run parallel to that. For instance, leadership is a very important area. Every student has to have leadership qualities. You can introduce a course on leadership and management and basically try to teach that course, or on the other hand you can put a student in a situation where he exercises leadership and tries to understand what leadership is. So that makes it co-curricular. So co-curricular platform is a very interesting platform to experiment with your qualities and see exactly कि मेरे fortes क्या हैं. ठीक है, मैं एक अच्छा communicator हूँ, मैं एक अच्छा लीडर हूँ, मैं एक अच्छा राइटर हूँ, मैं एक अच्छा डिज़ाइनर हूँ, मैं एक अच्छा स्टेज प्लेयर हूँ, मैं एक अच्छा सिंगर हूँ. ये तमाम चीज़ें जो हैं they make you a person of parts and it is important. You should be a story of many chapters. You see, one person is not just a story of one chapter. कि अच्छा जी हाँ ये चैप्टर क्या है, हाँ जी मैं यहाँ पे उठता हूँ, मैं स्कूल जाता हूँ, मैं वापस आ जाता हूँ, मैंने मैट्रिक का इम्तहान पास किया, मेरे इतने नंबर आ गए, ये क्या स्टोरी. This is just one aspect. The other aspects or the other chapters of your story, they need to be enriched, and that enriching experience can only come through extracurricular, and volunteering is very important. Volunteering makes you understand the spirit of a service person, a person who does public service. Do you understand that? हमारे पास कुछ लोग हैं जिनको कहा जाता है पब्लिक सर्वेंट. गवर्नमेंट ऑफिसर्स को पब्लिक सर्वेंट कहते हैं. आपने हार्डली देखा होगा उनको पब्लिक सर्विस करते हुए. Unfortunately, पब्लिक सर्विस नहीं करते. दूसरी, on the contrary, the other thing that we need to understand is कि क्या हमारा आम आदमी जो कि गवर्नमेंट का ऑफिशियल नहीं है, क्या पब्लिक सर्विस उसका काम नहीं है? क्या ये प्रॉपर्टी जितनी भी बाहर एग्जिस्ट करती है, जो हम रोते रहते हैं कल को के लोग तोड़ के चले जाते हैं, वो पब्लिक की प्रॉपर्टी नहीं है? क्या कोई गरीब आदमी अगर मास्टर के अंदर किसी जगह पे पढ़ रहा है, एक आदमी अगर उसको एक्सेस टू एजुकेशन नहीं है, वो पढ़ लिख नहीं सका, ये हम सबकी रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी नहीं? कहाँ तक हम गवर्नमेंट तक पे छोड़ देंगे तमाम की तमाम चीज़ें? कहाँ तक गवर्नमेंट ऑफिशियल्स के ऊपर छोड़ देंगे? अगर वो नहीं कर रहे हैं तो क्या हम उनके लिए एक अच्छा बेंचमार्क सेट नहीं कर सकते? I think we can do that. So the private sector has a great and a big and a huge role to play. People who are independent, freelance, public service people or civil society individuals, they have a big, huge role to play. And they have public mandate. Let's do something that the public sector institutions start realizing that if they can do that without any help from the public exchequer, why are we not doing that? So आप उनके लिए benchmark set करेंगे और इससे student के अंदर kindness, love, सर्विट्यूड, रिस्पेक्टफुलनेस लोगों के लिए ये बहुत डेवलप होती है, जो हमारे माशरे में ख़त्म होती जा रही है. ये वैल्यूज़ बड़ी इंपॉर्टेंट है कि तमाम इकोनॉमिक स्ट्रेटा जो सोसाइटी के, जो एफ्लुएंट हैं, जो अंडर प्रिविलेज्ड हैं, वो सब एक दूसरे के अक्रॉस बैठ के देख सकें. इक्वालिटी यही होगी कि जहाँ पे गरीब और अमीर जो हैं वो एक ही प्लेटफॉर्म पे बैठकर एक दूसरे के साथ सिर्फ जो है वो खाना ही शेयर ना कर रहे हो और बहुत सारी चीज़ें होती हैं ज़िंदगी में शेयर करने की.
You have been invited by the US Department of State for the International Visitor Leadership Program. What is this program all about and what were the outcomes of this?
The International Visitor Leadership Program, IVLP, is one of the most prestigious programs offered by the US Department of State. And it's very interesting because I never applied for any such program. My nomination came from the US Embassy. My program was alternatives in higher education, because I spent 14 years in higher education, so my program was higher education related. And it was a regional program because we had representatives. There were two other colleagues of mine from Pakistan. There was one colleague from Sri Lanka, one from India, one from Nepal, and one from Maldives. And we were taken across all higher education, major higher education institutions and platforms in the United States, starting in Washington, D.C. We visited the Association of Community Colleges and some think tanks on higher education, Business Higher Education Forum, the Career and Technical Education Institute, and also some accreditation bodies. And after that, we went to San Francisco, where we went to University of California, Berkeley, and then Dianza College and San Francisco Community Colleges. जितनी भी universities और institutes के अंदर गया, वहाँ पे सबसे excellent जो program था वो San Francisco Community Colleges के अंदर था, जहाँ पे development disabilities के ऊपर भी उतना ही काम हो रहा है जितना physical disabilities. बहुत ही खूबसूरत जगह के ऊपर जो मैं गया अमेरिका के अंदर, definitely वो कोई beach area नहीं था और ना ही कोई डिस्कोथीक था. हम समझते हैं कि अमेरिका के अंदर सब के सब लोग अमीर हैं और बहुत सारी इमारत है वहाँ पे और सब कुछ हो. Actually, these 7 work colleges were made in the poorest region in the United States. And the poorest region, I thought, would be an African American area, but it's not. It's a white, predominantly white people. It's called the Appalachian Mountains, or Appalachian Mountains के अंदर ही ये एक institute है, Berea College, I think, foot of the Appalachian Mountains. It's called a work college. These are 7 work colleges, one of the 7 work colleges in the United States, जहाँ पे बच्चे, they work their way through their academic degree programs. They don't pay anything to the institution. There is 15 hours of work that every student is placed. For 1 hour, they're also paid some stipend, like $6.50, but also they don't pay any fees. लेकिन उस पूरे कॉलेज के अंदर I have seen big auditoriums. They were constructed by students. There was a hotel within that college, a small tavern, Boone Tavern. उसका जो मैनेजर था वो भी स्टूडेंट था, जो उसका बेल बॉय था वो भी स्टूडेंट था, जो उनका कॉन्सियर्ज था वो भी स्टूडेंट था, जो वेटर था वो भी स्टूडेंट था. So all of them were students. Institutions के अंदर भी principal stances होने चाहिए. तालीमी इदारे सिर्फ तालीम देने के लिए नहीं होते, वो अपॉर्चुनिटी को एक्सेसिबल बनाने के लिए भी होता है. सो ये एक बहुत अच्छा, मुझे इंतहाई एक रिवॉर्डिंग ट्रिप था. और उसमें मैंने ये देखा कि सिर्फ और सिर्फ हायर एजुकेशन बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट होती है, लेकिन ऑल्टरनेटिव्स भी होते हैं हायर एजुकेशन के जो देखने चाहिए. कंटिन्यूइंग एजुकेशन होती है. ज़रूरी नहीं है कि एक आदमी 4 साल डेडिकेटेडली एक जगह पे पढ़ सके. कुछ लोगों को माश के प्रॉब्लम्स हो सकते हैं, कुछ लोगों को घर के अंदर जो है उसको सपोर्ट करनी हो सकती है. तो आप ऐसी तालीम लेकर आएँ जिसमें लोग एजुकेशन को कंटिन्यू कर सकें, बट एट द सेम टाइम अपने फाइनेंशियल बर्डन्स को भी साथ साथ देख सकें. तो ऐसी एजुकेशन को एक्सप्लोर करें. सो इट वाज a very successful and a very fruitful trip, and I think I can thank the people of the United States for having this opportunity, for giving me this opportunity to go across the United States.
So you're a mentor for many students, one of the most favorite teachers many students has come across in University of Central Punjab, Beacon House National Universities and different other institutions where you have taught. What is your message to all those students?
I think my students have heard me a number of times, so I don't know what message that I have to give to them, but I'd just like to say that since you were asking me once that what makes you so popular among students and all that, and I told you that I tried becoming the teacher that I could not find in my own life, you see. And probably I think that I always just look at ways where I expected that this is the type of teacher that I wanted in my life. So I tried to emulate all these attributes that I wanted in that perfect teacher that I was always looking for. मेरे ख्याल से अगर आप भी ज़िंदगी में कामयाब प्रोफेशनल किसी जगह पे बनना चाहते हैं, आई डोंट नो कि मैं कामयाब हूँ या नहीं हूँ, ये तो ज़िंदगी में आप कभी फ़ैसला नहीं कर सकते. मेरे ख्याल से आपकी कामयाबी का फ़ैसला आपकी दुनिया के जाने के बाद होता है. So I would not like to actually grade myself as a successful person. I think posterity is going to determine whether I am a successful person or not. So I'll give my best till I die. But I think that if you really want to become a successful person yourself, you need to create
that successful person in front of you and start adding yourself. जिस तरह एक एक क्वालिटी उसकी अपने अंदर लाने की कोशिश करते चले जाइए. और ज़िंदगी में एक बात हमेशा याद रखिएगा कि जब भी आप कोई डिसीजन करें, उस डिसीजन को एक इन्फॉर्म्ड डिसीजन होना चाहिए. आपके पास मुकम्मल इंफॉर्मेशन होनी चाहिए कि आप क्या फ़ैसला करने के लिए जा रहे हैं. वो चाहे ज़िंदगी में करियर से रिलेटेड फ़ैसला हो या आपकी अपनी ज़ाती ज़िंदगी से रिलेटेड फ़ैसला हो. और उसके बाद जब आप एक दफ़ा फ़ैसला कर लें तो फिर उस फ़ैसले को ओन भी करें. और ये मत कहें कि फ़लाँ मजबूरी की वजह से या फ़लाँ के कहने की वजह से, बिकॉज़ आपके कैरेक्टर का एक बहुत बड़ा इम्पॉर्टेंट चीज़ ये है कि आपने एक डिसीजन लिया, आपने वो फ़ैसला किया. वो फ़ैसला एक इन्फॉर्म्ड फ़ैसला होना चाहिए. इट शुड बी एन इन्फॉर्म्ड डिसीजन, बट यू शुड ओन योर डिसीजन एंड यू शुड रिस्पेक्ट योर डिसीजन. फेलिंग और सक्सीडिंग इज़ अनदर थिंग. यू सी, आप ज़िंदगी में वो फ़ैसला करके हार भी सकते हैं, आप उस फैसला करके जीत भी सकते हैं, लेकिन कैरेक्टर जिस चीज़ से इस्टेब्लिश होता है वो हार और जीत से नहीं होता. वो उस फैसले की ओनरशिप में होता है और आपने जो जिम्मेदारी उठाई है उस फैसले को लेने के लिए वो उसमें होता है. तो दो ही बातें. एंड आई होप एंड यू हैव माई प्रेयर्स एंड बेस्ट विशेस फॉर अ ग्रेट लाइफ. थैंक यू.
So friends, this was Sir Zaeem Yaqoob Khan. It's an honor that he gave us his interview. Two important things he mentioned here are, one is हमें एक बंदा, एक इंसान, a perfect successful person, we have to create that in our mind, और उसकी हर अच्छाई को हमें फॉलो करना चाहिए, अपने अंदर ऐड करना चाहिए. और विद द पैसेज ऑफ टाइम जिस तरह हमें और अच्छाइयाँ और पॉजिटिव चीज़ें नज़र आएंगी, हमें वो भी ऐड करनी चाहिए. सेकेंड मोस्ट इम्पॉर्टेंट चीज़ जो सर ने कही है इज़ टू हैव एन इन्फॉर्म्ड डिसीजन. बिल्कुल बिला वजह डिसीजंस मत लें. वी हैव टू टेक केयर ऑफ ऑल द ऑप्शंस वी हैव. ऑप्शंस को चूज़ करें, इवेल्यूएट करें और एक अच्छा डिसीजन लें. एंड whenever you take a decision, please own it. Thank you so much, friends. Please follow us on Facebook, that is www.facebook.com/iEdu.pk. Our website is www.iEdu.pk. Thank you so much.